I blink open my eyes into a world of gray. Where am I? Feeling groggy, I rub my eyes and look around. Stiff mountain peaks climb into the horizon while a stream babbles nearby, flows into a river basin underneath the splashing waterfall. The scenery is very picturesque and looks straight out of a magazine, but the colors are all wrong. Everything in the immediate area around me is black or white or some shade in between. As I gaze further into the distance, I see a grove of trees with a pocket of green. To the left are a cluster of purple mountains. The more I look around, the more I see colors localized to specific areas. I wonder why only some places have colors and others don't. Soft voices catch my attention. I look over and recognize the spirits from the temple. They look exactly as I remember, but more solid, more real.
Those who summoned the Shadow Prime Vanquisher must be discovered to face the consequences. Their actions cannot be ignored.
Once your investigation begins, it will only be a matter of time before the perpetrators are found. Only those in energy surplus can open a rift onto Mortalis Terra.
The Earth Elemental's voice is sweet and melodic, like the birds of the forest. The Air Elemental's eyes widen.
Search is forbidden, though. That is something they would have known.
Her voice is strong and carries far. It's strange hearing all of the elementals talk. The others nod in agreement.
Yes, and out of those who can cross over to Mortalis Terra, only 3 Shadow Houses have access to a Shadow Prime Vanquisher. The Shadow Houses have remained quiet ever since I took over the Magistrate. I wonder if they were all plotting this.
The Water Elemental places a comforting hand on the Shadow Elemental's arm. When she speaks, her voice bubbles and flows like the rush of a river.
You cannot blame yourself for these unfortunate courses of events. Their plan was in the making before you even ascended the Shadow Magistrate.
The Earth Elemental nods.
In truth, you handled the situation quite well, especially for being new in your role.
The Fire Elemental puts her hands on her hips. The heat of dancing flames is in her voice.
However, Sister Magistrates, our work is far from over. We must each return to our domains. If rumors spread that there are no consequences for crossing into Mortalis Terra, we may have our own houses who might hope to take matters into their own hands and try to summon our own elemental prime vanquishers.
I stir, pushing myself off the ground, and the elementals freeze. The Shadow Elemental looks over to me and gasps.
You're here?
At the mention of me, the other elementals turn around and slowly make their way towards me. Their faces are a mixture of concern and surprise. The air elemental flits over to me and looks me over.
Is he real? No human has ever crossed over to our side before.
Is this a dream? Okay, all the elementals are here and they're talking. I must be dreaming. The air elemental cocks her head. I reach out my hand like I did back at the temple. She eagerly presses her hand against mine. Whoa! I feel the solid touch of her palm. How is this possible?
You're in Ether Terra right now.
Ether Terra? How? Last thing I remember is defeating the creature, and then there was this blinding light. The elementals share a glance.
A light? Was it from your cast?
I think so.
And you casted all of the elements at once?
Yeah. They blink at each other in surprise. When the fire elemental speaks, she sounds pensive.
You must have inadvertently opened a temporal fracture, which pulled you into Ether Terra.
I somehow casted a rift? And yet I'm still alive. But all I remember is the crippling pain of the energy consuming me. Is that even possible? They look at each other worried.
That I cannot answer for certain. Yet you stand here in our realm. No human has ever set foot in Ether Terra before, but no human has been able to cast all of the elements either.
So as you know, she said ether while the other two said ether? I look around my surroundings. The landscape feels familiar, but nothing is the same. It all feels so overwhelming. All I want is to return to normalcy. Doesn't matter how I got here, I need to get back. Can you send me back?
Back where exactly?
So how do I pull that up? We'll drop a branching save here, and yes, you'll see it's been 3 weeks. Back to Terra. The elementals glance at each other.
You do not want to go to your home world?
I shake my head.
I see. That would not be a problem, but
But what?
we cannot do it now.
Why not?
Your body needs time to recover. Going through a rift when you aren't in peak condition could be just as dangerous as it is for you to cast one.
I feel fine. The Earth Elemental shakes her head.
Although that may be the case, you put your body through a lot of strain when you expelled all of your energy. It would be dangerous to put it through that much strain again so quickly.
I see. I guess that means I'm going to be stuck here until I regain my strength.
Do not fret. You're welcome to remain here for as long as you need.
Thanks, I appreciate that. What should I do in the meantime?
Well, that depends.
On what?
What do you need to feel better?
Whiskey. The water elemental slides up to me, pushing herself against me. My mind flashes back to the water temple, remembering the softness of her lips. I can go for some soup right now. Get some chicken soup or something? I think that's what you're supposed to do when you're not feeling well. The water elemental furrows her brows, then her sly grin returns.
If you're hungry, I'm sure we can find something for you to eat.
She runs a finger down my arm, which I shrug off. Great, let's go then. The other elementals look as amused as the water elemental rejoins them, dejected. Together, the elementals lead me to a mansion.
I hope you enjoy your stay here with us.
I get the feeling I will. Two months later placeholder.
And so, our heroes triumphed. But that is not the end of their tale. Our talented mage caster, Amelia, returned to the Mage Academy and submitted the results of her field study. It was received with much admiration, and to this day, her studies on the elementals are still being discussed.
Not gonna say a word about the hat.
Needless to say, the rest of her tenure as a student was a breeze, and she graduated with full honors. After graduation, she donned the same black cloaks at the academy and became a professor herself. She became something of an expert on the temples, and students traveled far and wide to study from her. Although busy teaching the next generation of mages, Amelia never lost her innate sense of curiosity. Her latest research dives deeper into the secrets of rifts and parallel worlds.
So that she can invade. I see the sequel coming. He chuckles.
For all that has changed, not so very much has changed at all. As for the mercenary and his dashing beauty, well, retirement suits them well. Zack hung up his discharges, and Kara's finally grown some roots. Together, they combined their savings to provide other lost children what they've always wanted: a family. They run an orphanage now, accepting all children who need a home. Zack teaches them all sorts of life skills, while Kara teaches them about art and history.
We don't need art.
No matter how gruff Zack may be, he's careful and gentle with the children. In fact, they know that at the end of the day, Zack is just a big softy at heart. Kara showers the children with love and affection, and encourages them to tease Zack. After all this time, it's still so easy to get him flustered. The two of them have finally found their happiness and their home. Next is our formidable Mage Knight. After the last battle against the Shadow Prime Vanquisher, Liana returned to the Mage Guild to report all of her findings. The guild was impressed by her fortitude and boldness in hindering Void's uprising. Her selflessness and bravery demonstrated she possessed the heart and spirit of what it means to be a top-class Mage Knight. She was promoted to the most prestigious rank of Mage Class S, the highest within the guild. She is the youngest Mage Knight to receive such an honor. When her family heard the news, they all attended her promotion ceremony, beaming with pride. Her father stood in the front row, and afterwards boasted about how his daughter embodied the strength and intelligence of House Dawn. No longer does Liana fret about what the future might determine for her. She knows that she can carve her own destiny. And as for our hero, well, that is a tale for another day.
I'm right here, you know. Ending E achieved. Hanging out with all the elements, eh? Who knows if we even want to leave Ether Terra by the end of it. Though perhaps if there's someone on Terra that you yearn for, then you'd find a way back. Thanks for playing Crystalline. Credits placeholder. So I guess you're going to get different endings based on the various affection levels you have towards Leanna. Home is home. Back home to Earth. They look at each other and back to me, then nod.
Earth. That is what you call your home world?
I nod,
Yes, we can do so.
although others do call it a slum, and I can see why. They prepare themselves to cast, but before they do, they look at me instead. Seeing all of them standing together, it hits me just how regal they look.
Thank you, Champion of Earth, for all you have done for us.
I prefer hero more than champion. The Shadow Elemental lowers their head in respect. Each elemental nods to me in turn.
Your bravery will not be forgotten.
Nor your dedication and persistence.
We will remember your sacrifice.
Thank you for trusting us.
I look at each of the elementals and smile. I appreciate all the help you've given me along the way. The elementals return to position.
Close your eyes.
I do as I'm told. I feel the same crackle of energy and a brightness behind my eyes. Electricity tingles my skin as I feel the same solidness surround me. In an instant, it's over. Then I hear a rustle of pages. Slowly, I blink my eyes open and raise my head. Focus on the same boring text from my open textbook. My open laptop still has pages of my notes. I'm back in the library? Was this all a dream? My heart sinks. All my adventures and friends, none of that was real? Looking around, I see students focus on their books. Everything feels normal, like I never left. I guess I need to come back to reality. I reach for one of the books and freeze. My hands still wear the same gloves from Haven Guard. I glance down and see the same leather trousers Leanna and I bought together. It wasn't a dream. Hear a strange nibbling sound emanating from my laptop. I push down the monitor to view my charger. Small, beady eyes look up at me. Oh god, there goes the neighborhood. A miniature Pongo bounces happily before me. Can we kill him? You're so small, but you're still here. Pongo, is that you? I lean down and peer at him. He blinks at me with tiny eyes, then grins. You're so small, though. He barrels towards me and squishes his cheek against me in a hug.
Boy.
I'm happy to see you, too. Not really. What happened? How'd you survive?
Boy.
I laugh. Never mind. I'm just glad you're okay. No, I'm not. He looks around the room with fascination and confusion. It's a long story. He looks back down at my charger and opens his mouth wide. He lets out a happy sigh as he begins feasting on my charger again. I split into a wide grin when I see him, because I know he's going to get shocked for doing that, right? Eat up, buddy, so you can grow big and strong. And then we can take over the world. I look around the familiar library and can't stop my smile from growing. We made it. We're finally home. Ending D achieved. So you decide to go home, eh? You've returned to your normal life with all your friends and family. With a new blue jello friend, of course. Though if you're curious on what happened to Terra, you may consider going back to Terra. So yeah, I kind of kept you guys waiting 3 or so weeks for this. Sadly, I got swamped, and you may have noticed that my weekend updates actually diminished almost entirely, I'm afraid. Sadly, I don't see things improving for a little while longer yet, but I'm hoping I'll actually be able to do double uploads of Crystalline per week once it's finished in full. For that one, we'll actually do the scenes in proper. I won't screw around. I'll actually... I'll tell you what, if there are some responses you guys actually were interested in me doing, even if they were weird and random, make a note of it and tell me, and if there's enough demand, we can go do those, or I can just rewind the scene and show you the alternate routes. Speaking of alternate routes, real quick. Where's my cursor? There it is. We'll do one more. So is there a skip feature? Since I know some of you probably want this one. This is pretty good. I'm sure if I got even more of this, I'll be healed up in no time.
Aw, perhaps I should hold back then. I wouldn't wish you to leave before we've had our fun.
She didn't reject me? On second thought, I'm feeling a lot weaker than I expected. I'll take a lot of time and attention before I'll start to feel better. The water elemental wears a sly smile.
Is that so? I'm sure that can be arranged.
Her voice actress sounds familiar, but I don't have time to try to place it. The other elementals crowd in. The earth elemental gently strokes my cheek.
I'll take good care of you.
That was Yuna's voice actress, wasn't it? From Ace Academy, or Kendo Crush, whatever you want to call it. Fire and shadow elementals rub my back and shoulders.
You can stay with us for as long as you need.
Now we can properly play together.
I look over at the air elemental. Hold on. How old are you exactly?
I am 52 years of Mortalis Terra age. Why do you ask?
Excellent. I split into a wide grin. No reason. Together the elementals lead me to a mansion.
I hope you enjoy your stay here with us.
I get the feeling I will. So, Robin's gonna pop up here 2 months later, yada yada yada. So that was still ending D apparently. Or ending E, I mean. So yeah, alternate routes I can look into doing. Because I think the majority of the comments that were left were saying, please romance Leanna, so we'll see what the ending A is like. I don't even remember if ending A is leaving after you get all the powers or not. But yeah, that's Crystalline. Overall, the way it's going, I don't think it's going to be as good as Ace Academy, but it might be decent. So, without anything further to say, I guess I'll just leave here with the promise that I will be back once the game is finished, especially the minigames, so you can see me actually suck instead of just saying I do suck. But anyway, I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.